Well, good morning to everyone. Today I am Biswas, Biswas, Academic Counselor of IGNOU. Today is MMPH 001. It is a project work, project course. So it is basically the third semester. Student has to opt for this subject. This is basically considering the two courses. So first we have to discuss why this project is required and how it is important for a MBA students. And first, try to understand what is the project work. Project work, before the say the project work, I would like to say some of the background of these things. Most of the worldwide, all the universities have some project work because it may be sometimes some of the universities are started in the second semester itself is a minor project work, and some of the universities have started in the third semester itself, and finally it will continue up to the final semesters. So it is divided in a two part, minor or major, or in IGNOU your pattern there is a some your synopsis project proposals and your final project. So that I will describe what is the procedure, what is the difference between project proposal and the final projects. So that in the project proposal, how to decide the project titles and other things, that also you have to discuss. Now try to understand what is the project work. The project work is an essential component of any management program. It involves a scientific and systematic study. And moreover, based on this, is just like a practical. What are the MBA management courses? What are the other subjects that is all a theory? If we say project work is treated as a your testing, means your practical, where you can what the it is ensure as MBA student you have to ensure that students are knowledge and their leadership quality are improved. Now they are ready for handling the any situations in the organizations. And through this, all the semester, what are the courses students are learned. Now the time has come to show your importance. I mean, what we have really learned to execute these things, we have to have a project work. So project work is other way I can say it is a mirror. It is mirror your knowledge, what you have, and where are you, and in near future, what type of responsibility very easily you can take it. Okay? So first try to cover up the slideshow PPTs. So it is a fact that the problem solving exercise to improve the quality of decision making by collecting of both primary and the secondary data. Because here two things are there. That is the informations. Now this is common language and data, the computer language and data, but basically the your informations. So primary you have to collect it, and secondary also you have to collect it. Secondary is already there. It is already published data. You have to just fix the data as per your requirement as a references. But primary data or primary informations that you have to collect You have to obtain from a different procedures. So collecting the data, there are so many ways, so many methods are there. So initially, when you start any situations or any problems or what are the challenges, so company or organizations are likely to go, okay, you go for research. What is why this is happening, the root cause, and finally what are the remedies are there. So that's why the research work or project work are justified. If something is going smooth, there is no problem, uh, profit is there, there is no conflict, nothing, no problem, any situations, then need not to go for the research or does not need to any project work. So we have to select the area where this problem is. Then only there is a value of the project work. Otherwise, everything is okay. It is more than 60% or 70% is okay. If the report is saying is okay, then it is a waste of the money. No need for this project work. So that is to be kind of come in the mind that project work or research is required where the real development is required. So it is an action research and is required to be done during the third or final semesters of any management program. Now, why project work? So project work gives a student an opportunity or field that a student has to utilize his theoretical knowledge to solve the existing life and practical problems. So it enables the students to understand. So it will just giving an understand to your issue of the existing life and the practical problem. So what are the issues or problems that are coming in your practical life that you can understand? It enables the students to understand the problems and issues in collecting the data from the clients, customers, and employees. And during this process, you can also know this is the art of the collecting the data, but at the same time, what are the problems or issues are coming in during that period also? What are that experience is also coming. And it is like as a feedback will be helpful. So based on the collecting data, a comprehensive inference can be drawn for the solving of the problems. So in a comprehensive figure out, you can figure out the things, what are the this is the problems are coming, and that you can tabulate the problems, and then after that it can be a go for the analysis purposes. Now project work involves the following elements. What are the elements? In order, that is your first thing is selecting and defining the organization's specific problem. So first you have to define the what are the problems in the organizations, or maybe you are doing for the project in reference to any organizations. First you have to identify which are the areas. Suppose for the mutual fund or your SBI bank, any topics, marketing side or HRM side. So first you have to identify the what are the problems. That is very important. Then preparation of project synopsis, proposals, and its approval by the institution's faculty. So synopsis is one of the part that which are required to be approved by the institutions, faculty. Then you can after that you can proceed for your uh, final projects. So conduct of field work and submission of the project report to the institutions. To ensure the knowledge of students and depending on the situation sometimes it's required the viva test can be arranged on the project reports. So it is some of the universities are compulsions. You have to have a go for the viva process, or some of the universities the case to case basis. If they feel to discuss with the students is required, necessary, then they can call for the viva. And in IGNOU, the guidelines it is written there. If they feel some viva is required, they can conduct it. But is there a compulsion? Not for all, case to case basis. Now guidelines for choosing a problem. So how to select or choosing the problem, the student should choose a subject from the field where you are employed or used to work. So this is the important thing because abruptly or you should first think about it before you have to plan for that because to project work don't hurry. That's why it is given you enough time starting from the third semester itself. So that by the time when your final semester will come, by the time you should be you could have finished your project work. So definitely it is a little bit time taking or some time management is also required. Within this stipulated time frame, you have to finish it up. So at least every day half an hour, 1 hour, you have to think about it. You have to plan for these things, identify the area and preferably which area you are specializing, you are preparing for this MBA degree. What is your specializations? So you have to take that field on. So problem choosing the master. What are the problems? A live issue in an organization, a problem which has already been resolved by the management is not a fit problem to be business. So the problem which has already solved, most of the cases I have seen the project reports are students are opting. This is already solved, already no problem as such, or maybe the earlier problems. Maybe it's 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years before some problem was there. And now it has solved. These things are prepared. So it is not a considering as a good project. So project should be live issues. And where so far no problem, nobody has resolved this problem. So that is the unique thing. And it should be a realistic also. The organizations in which the problem has been chosen must be willing to help a student in this project also. Suppose you are discussing with some of the organizations, okay, I have to go for these organizations. Or even though when you are working, you can take the case study, I think, as a case project, your organizations also. In that case, you have to discuss with the personal department. They should help. They are willing to help you within your time frame. And what are the data? What are the information they are ready to give you? They have to. This is the way they can help to the project. That environment has to be created. Now then, create a little page. Many organizations requesting project proposals have a required format for the title pages and proposals. If a format is given, follow it. There are some basic steps to follow when you write your project proposal. So you have the basic section, literature review, the procedure and the introductions. Then you write the introductions section in clear language, describe the background of the topics and its current research state using the references from the peer reviews. So you have to go by step by steps everything. Then the problem must be manageable within the time and and financial constraints of the students, because that is one of the things to be take care, because the if it is not achievable or not manageable, then it is a problem, because lot of uh, time and cost are involved. MBA students can choose any real life organizational problems for the project work. Their project work will also be evaluated by faculties. Uh, they have to submit and evaluation. After the evaluations, if some correction is required or material, you have to do it and resubmit again, and that is the way the process will start. Students are advised to refer to their study material during the preparation. So student has to uh, go through the study material, particularly the theories, procedures, charts, your sample project report, which is the approved synopsis. You just you can see some of the approved synopsis which are already available in the Googles in the net itself. Then you can have an idea what are the things are there, or you can take a help from the faculties also, or you from the guide, supervisor guides. They can discuss with you what are the type of synopsis are there, how to write it. And this is the as a sample. They can show you what this is the approved synopsis. So okay, you have to go accordingly. You cannot copy the same thing. You cannot produce the same thing, but have an idea what the way you have to write it. If you have some sample, if you have some solved synopsis, approved synopsis, earlier approved synopsis, so then it will be create your confidence. They must present their synopsis in the correct format and follow the instructions given in the study material. Then synopsis should provide the minimum detail as per the project guidelines, study materials, and the students need to go into long worded theoretical explanations. So, what are the guidelines as given? That is your, based on this, you have to make a format. Introductions, okay, this much introduction should be there. What the things should be in brief. Introductions, you cannot write A to Z of the particular organizations where you are likely to be the project. You need not to write all these things. Focus on your where the organizations for your project or relevant to your project or that area you have to define it. Maybe the financial sides, in general, what type of business they are doing, and the how many the trend of this project companies, and in the future expansion, what are the things are there, what type of culture they have. I mean, very in a gist, introduction should be in a very small. So for that, you can refer the company's website. You can go take their some of the annual reports, prepare the things as the introduction part. So the students need not to go into the long one, theoretical expansion. Don't explain in details. Most of the it has seen that introduction part they are utilizing the 3 to 4 pages. No, it's not required. One page introduction is sufficient, or a page that should be content should be very optimization which is required. Always it is to be focused in your problem areas where which the things are really you are going for this project. Then it is an outline plan. You have to should have an outline plan of the conducting the study. It may be about 4 to 5 pages and maximum 6 to 8 pages, and written typed should be and include. What are the things to be included in the your project proposal? In the project proposal, it should be first title of the project. You have to not very long words. Title should be very comprehensive, very statement type, just for study of a financial aspect of this particular this company, or maybe the study of HR practices in uh, Tata consultants, or maybe some companies. So you have to start in that way. Those titles should not be very specific word. Mutual fund. Some I have seen some of these mutual fund, or some HRD, human resource management title. No, it should not be like this. Title before that you have to write something. A study of HRD of particulars. Or don't take any very mass scale organization. Mass scale. Study on HR in corporate sector. Don't take it in that way, or private sector, where the huge sampling, huge data is required. These are student projects. You are not go for the research for your PhD. It's not about PhD purposes. It's for the student capacity, student within this 2 to 3 months, and what you have learned based on this only this project. Student contribution is required to see, rather than you are typing the theories, lot of things. So focus should be in the project synopsis basically. The evaluator are normally focus on what they intend to say, what type of what you are doing for these things, and how what the way the method you are utilizing for this project. That is important. Don't write the company's objectives, company evaluations, what they are doing, or all these things. So all of the uh, fact, already fact is there. Just simply rewriting the things. That's not contributions in students, what your think process, what you are want to do it, or based on this. That should be totally new with your project. That that should be highlighted. That should be emphasized on these things. So introduction should be in brief. Title should be in only one sentence sufficient. Don't write 2 3 sentences very big. Title of the project is avoidable. Rational. Rational. Within the rational, there are 3 parts. Sometimes uh, the learners are difficult. Rationals are confusing word sometimes. Actually, if you see, the rationals are compromising of 3 things. Rational is some word meaning, where you have to consider there are 3 things which are to be you describe. Statement of the problem, that should be improved. This is also a part of rationals. So at the time of writing the project proposals, what the way I am showing, this is the way exactly you have to write. First your technical project, then B your introduction part brief, or you can write 1.0, then 2.0. You can intending whatever the way. But rational is different topics. But within the rationals, A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, physically, this is should be there. I mean, it should be a part of the rational. Statement of the problem is also a part of your rationals. Why the project you are choosing, why you are think about it, this project, that is also a part of your rationals. And what contribution would the your project make to who? What will be the benefits for this project? That is also a part of your rationals. So rationals are contained or consisting of there are 3 things, which are 3 parts, which are actually you have to elaborate. That may be your half a page, half of, or 1 page is sufficient. 1 to 2 pages is sufficient. Rational part, where you have to briefing the things. So exactly this is the problem. There are a lot of problems, but related to your title of the project, what the things you are going for the project, you are define the things, your research is or project is oriented, that problems you have to highlight in the project statements. That means your statement, I mean, you are narrating some of the things, giving some story that this is the things are going on in the company, this is the wrong things, there lot of improvement is required. This is the way, this is the actual statement. Then why you are choosing these things topics? Because you are MBA students and maybe your friend is working there, maybe you are working there. It will be easy. So topics students are there is a criteria is this. Easily you can get the information. Suppose you are working somewhere or you are selecting some of the topics from different organizations where you don't know, there is no friend, no relatives, even you are not also working there, there will be very tough job to collect the information. So that's why you have to select or you have to choose the title of the project should be where it is achievable or will get very easily information you can get very easily. Minimum within a time frame you can collect the data and there you trustful. If your friend is there, you can call them, okay, please I'm coming to your office, please help me. This is the way I should know your HR systems or maybe your marketing systems. I have to discuss something, I have to survey your company. This is the way you have to take permission. Or in your within the organizations also, if you feel you can start your survey on this. So it is very easy. So that's why. So choosing of the title topics are really important. Then what contribution will be the project to make that part should be there in the proposals because most of the cases students are not writing because contribution what for you are doing for this and who will be the benefited for this. This is actually both are to benefit it. Individually you have to benefit because you are learning or getting some of the things. This is your curiosity, your project. Definitely you will be developed. Your growth will be there, and near future you can handle this situation very nicely. That is definitely one of the your benefit. At the same time, the organizations also, because you are giving us some of the outputs, some outcomes you are giving, lot of alternatives you are giving. So that alternatives are create a lot of profit, create a lot of motivation in the particular company. So this part are also your rational parts. So now you hope now it is clear. I have seen lot of cases the rational part company are students are very much confused. So now this you have to say the statement of the problem, then you have to clear your topics, why you are choosing these topics, and the conclusion. That should be there in your proposals. Then next, objectives of this project. Here you see simply objectives is different or objects of the project is different because objectives of the company or of the order is the different objectives. But here student has to write project objectives. What exactly you are to want to do? To identify the problems, to analyze the problems, to create some of the solutions. But this is three things to be there in the objectives. Apart from this, in future, what are will be the help? So objectives should be clear and should be students this project oriented objectives should be there. Okay, no doubt it will be related to your company also, but I have seen lot of synopsis. Their students are writing the company's objectives. In the HR objectives they are given, marketing objectives they are written. Not like company have a different objectives. All the department company have maybe 100 objectives in the different categories. Different department have different objectives. But that is not a your criteria. Your proposals should be reflected where your objectives in the related to your project objectives. Suppose you are targeting the practices. What type of HR practices are there? Then this should be your object should be first identify the existing practices in the company. Then I have to collect some of the information regarding the existing your existing practices, and have to analysis for these things. Finally, I have to develop a new practices, world class practices which are at par with the world class practices in the other organizations that I have to develop. So this should be the objectives. If you not write all the objectives of the organization objectives, so it should be specific objectives of the project, which are you are likely to be uh, likely to start your project. And project proposals all are should be, it has also happened, I have seen most of the cases, past tense. I have obtained, I have collected the data. That should not be. This is all in futures. Here is a give a proposal for this. You're taking a permission, and what all should be in future tense. To be, likely to be obtained, to be collected. That thing has to be there. So grammatically you have to see. Then scope of the study. This is also another thing. It has seen the confusion. Scope of the study. Students sometimes written scope of the organization. Total scope they have written. At the construction side, this is the thing. Overall scope of the organization they have written. That should not be. Again, it is a your study, which the area you are defining, you are confining these areas. That is the place. Suppose, for example, the mutual fund of the SBI bank. You have to just explore the study of mutual fund, the SBI, mutual fund systems. Very good. So then, if your scope will be the maybe branches. There are 3 SBI branches you have to visit and collect their customers' views, their staff, existing staff views, what the way their customers are there, what are the per annum, how much people are taking the mutual fund or not. So you are collecting or focus on this thing. This is your confine. This is your scope. Don't write the SBI bank what they are doing, how much brands are there. So that's not a scope. So scope sometimes to be clear in your mind, that is the study where your jurisdictions, your range of what way to search for this, collecting the data, your information you are collecting. So that is the scope. So first of all this term has to be clarified the students, then only you can write a project. Research methodology. Again, in the research methodology, there are 2 things. You have to first the primary data and secondary data. You have to define what type of method you are adopting. That also you have to write in the research methodology. Then chapter schemes are there. What the way you have to project it in your projects. So you have to write. So chapterization. Basically, the chapterizations for the introductions, then your objectives, your research methodology, the analysis part, and cognition part, then your finally your the question and sort of the. So everything that means basically chapter schemes is the last step of your proposals, and it is the first page of your project. Chapter scheme is nothing the intents. What your project should be, that you are highlighting, you are forecasting your things. In my project, final project will be like this, where this much of chapters will be there. That you are in the proposal you are highlighting. So my project will be like this. This type of chapters will be there like this. So chapter scheme is. Now again, the another thing is very important. Your guide resumes. The signature should be there, and guide should be 5 or 6 pages and relevant field of their specializations. Suppose MBA, HRM, if your project is your HRM, that's guide should be MBA, HRM, and should be 5 years experience post qualifications. It doesn't mean suppose some of you have a 10 years experience in HR field, but he has completed his MBA 2 years back. 2 years before he has completed his MBA. But experience is 10 years. It is not allowed. So experience will be counted after the passing of the MBA. So that's why it is required to clarify in the CV, in the reasons that should be mentioned, that when he has passed out from the universities, supposedly when he has achieved these things, or if possible, put some his grade card, I mean the certificate, it is better. Or business experiences also, if you put some business card, that is also good. Then it will be more authentic. Read the how to ensure that your synopsis is approved in the first attempt, because then learner has to lot of time there you are devoting. Maybe you are initially you will be confused, but when you are confident, you are doing these things. So some of the tips I am giving you here uh, to ensure that yes, the first time, in the first attempt, your synopsis, what the way you can approve it. Basically, here other way I can say, what are the expectation of the evaluators? What are the expectation of the evaluator, or otherwise, what the way your synopsis can be approved in the first time, first attempt. So first read the, that's why you read the IGNOU guidelines carefully and ensure the correct project proposal format, which are already available in the your descriptors in the project guidelines. Abide by the instruction as mentioned in the project guidelines during the preparation of synopsis and the final projects. So everything, all the instruction have to follow it. Cover all the headings. Whatever the headings as given in the guidelines, in a synopsis of your project proposals, and in the project itself, all these topics has been given. Heading is given. So that has to be, everything has to be covered. Be brief and to the point. That is the main point. Be brief and to the point you are writing. Don't details, it's not required, especially in the proposal sheet. You are giving it just, it is a another I can say, it is a just like your recipe. When you are start some of the preparation for the kitchen work, any dishes, any special dish. So definitely you should have some recipe. What after the things are to be there, and that some procedure should be there, and finally this will be prepared. So before preparations, definitely you have to go for the market. What are the ingredients is required for this particular dishes? You have to purchase it. You have to some raw materials is required. You need some of the oven, and procedure should be there. So and finally your dishes is ready. So before that, you have some of the recipes are there. What are the things that are required, or for the way you have to prepare these things, that has to be written somewhere. In the kitchen books, not in the YouTube. Normally, those are the young couples. Normally, they follow these things and they have start their kitchen work. They are preparing the things. Same thing. The project is proposal is also same thing. You should have some recipe. That recipe is basically your project proposal. That is the project proposal is just nothing, just like your recipe. That this is the way I have to go on. They are the data I have to collect it this in this way. My method is like this way. Thing. So if you keep in mind in this way, the proposal is nothing. It's simply one recipe you have to prepare. That is your project. That then definitely you will not miss out anything. Length of synopsis not more than 6 to 8 pages, because it is not required, sufficient. So what are the topics are covering? Up a page, 1 page, writing. So hardly 5 to 6 pages. I am giving it the maximum 8 pages I am giving, because you have to give some double stroke. Should not be any single stroke. You have to write in a typewriter, Roman typing. 11 font should be there, and left margin, right margin should be there, and double space should be there. Then it will be look good proposals. so that the evaluator can easily can reading you can read it, and in between if you want to say something, write something, you can write it. Some space should be there so that the evaluator can write something, examiner or the evaluator can, so that space should be just draft format. Basically, in the officially, when you are put up some of the proposal to your seniors, so you have to give it some of the, some space margin should be there so that you can read out really comfortably, you can read. So that is the concept between this. When you are submitting your proposals, so you just think about mind, your mindset is my proposals, that project proposal will be read by somebody. Every sentence somebody read by the somebody is there. So they should be comfortably they can read. So that idea should be in mind. Ensure project guide's signature in the CV and in the proposal format and submit within the stipulated time period. So within the time period, you have to finish it up. So CV, some signature is required. There are two places, one signature in the format, another signature in the CV. So without signature, it is not allowed. I mean, your proposal will not be entertained without signatures. Signatures should be there. Don't submit extracts from any study already conducted in the organizations or an organization manual. Simply don't copy it, which are already done, because the plagiarium effect is there. Plagiarism section are there, then you cannot copy it. Choose a guide with postgraduate in management, which I have already discussed. The 5 years experience is required, and this will be your in the same field experience. So do not start find work until your synopsis is approved. So and when your synopsis is approved, then you can start the field work, because otherwise it will be wastage. Because you see, you don't know your synopsis will be approved or not. It may be rejected. So if you start efforting for the collecting the data on behalf of your project, so then you should be in a frustration. So that's why you wait for the synopsis approval, then you can start the project. Keep separately the unique project proposal number after the submission of the synopsis for the future correspondence in RC or project sales. They will give you some of the number that you have to keep it. Project proposal number. So in your own interest, don't delay. Submit your synopsis in time as stipulated in the prospectus or the notification released in the websites. So try to finish it up as early as possible, because otherwise it will start some panic, because when the last date is coming up, then the quality of the project will be you have to compromise a lot of things. So better you can start slowly and finish it up within the time. So students are advised to note the change of dates, if any, in the any forecast of the important events or something notifications. So in the IGNOU website, always it is given. So you have to time you have to follow it up. If any changes or date extension, whatever it is, that will be there. Project report, I can touch a little bit. That this is the main report of your chosen project, and follows the field work and the analysis in the data. The final report is normally required to be presented as per the chapter scheme. What are the chapter scheme you have given in the proposals? Based on this, you have to. That's why I've written the chapter scheme you have given in your synopsis. So based on this same thing, that means if the chapter scheme is your last page of synopsis, then that chapter scheme, that page as an indent, first page of your project. Generally in the project report, what are the things should be there? Is a sequential presentation should be as another. That is one of our original approved synopsis. You have to put it in the top. Then your what are the contents? Then your contents where your basically the chapter schemes. Then after that your page numbering is also there. Should be there. All the chapters should have a page number. Then there are some peripherals should be a good binding, then your chapter finally you have to give it. And the analysis part you give you some the color that should be pie chart or your you can say your bar chart, some curve. So that should be all the analysis part. Basically, that's chapter evaluative aspects some of the colorful your study and all the analysis part you should have some your outcomes. What are the things and things. Just like a, for example, your test, health checkups for prescriptions. Then after that, you go for the test, and the test results are given like this way. Okay, this is the range, and you are getting this much, and now it is a 60% or 70%. Your BP level or your diabetes level, or what are the things. So this is the way you have your analysis should be there. Then it is very easy to understand that okay, your project is correct. You have definitely have done all these things. So analysis part should be a chart, all these things, and in the end you have to write in a figure out. You can give some table also. So what are the things are you can tabulate it also. This is the way you have to. That I will take another class. I will try to explain in details next time. So submission of the synopsis for these ODL students and MBA, everything are program, same thing. So if the regional directors obviously you have to submit. Those are ODL, MBA and other things. In the ODS, basically all the ODS students are subject to proposals you have to submit in the regional directors, respective your regional directors. And then it is already given in the input. MBA online students are through this LMS portal they have to submit. They are not allowed to submit us. They have to through the online. Submission of the project report is again the ODL students are given directly to the university, not us. In RCA only the proposals, but the project report I have to submit directly to your university. This is the main. And your MBA online students can submit to the LMS. Again, it is a what are the guidelines as given. You have to go through this, or any notifications in the websites that you have to follow it. Then the guidelines are the project course, that is MMPS, MMPC, MMPP 001. The project course is equivalent to 2 courses. Now, that everything is already in the these guidelines are I have shown you. It's available in the websites and in your books also. If you download the MMPP 001 from the IGNO website, same thing you will get it. No problem. This is all here actually I try to show you from where I get it. That is the 8 credits. So these the basic things are given. Then synopsis submissions and the evaluation process. Something is given there. What are how to proceed the things. Selection of the topic by the students. How to select the student that already I discussed. The learner can select any topic her or his choice, preferably in their area of specialization. That is one thing here. Your specialization area only have to choose. Title should be definite, communicative, key informations about the thesis, and it should convey the subject matter being covered in the project. Then it could be either with a comprehensive case study. You can write some comprehensive case studies referring to some of the organizations. You can say, for example, you can write comprehensive case studies on financial aspect of Tata Consultancy or for example Reliance Communication. So this is the way you can mention the particular organizations. The case study is always you have to mention of the organizations. And then inter-organizational study aim at the inter-organizational comparisons, validations, theory, survey of the management practice. These are all of the area from where you can project. You can, as per your choice, as per your own choice, you can take it. Where there are three types, basically the type in comprehensive case studies or otherwise a internal organizational study. You can take it some of the things, or maybe the field study. This is empirical. We are calling as the empirical studies. Then selection of the guide is one of the important. It should be clear. The guide should be in the same field and eligible for this criteria is for the management faculty in the school of management. Otherwise, all approved academic counselors. Again, it is the academic counselor should be the same field. It doesn't mean marketing academic counselor can sign the HR. No, academic counselor HR can sign the only HR. Project. Then your after management faculty having 5 years of digital experience, to those who are newly joining the as academic counselor or management, they are not allowed. Or any other universities faculty also can sign. Not only the IGNU, any professionals can sign. Those who have master degrees and 5 years experience in this field. Any institution faculty can sign. And your the biodata or proposed guidelines guides should be attached along with the synopsis. This is important. Student one can special notice students are advised to select guides who are active professionals in the relevant area or the selected topics. If the topics in the area of finance, the guide should be a specialized in the finance and so on. So based on your topics area, in the format in the top you have to write your topics area. So you have to search your guide who has a financial background. So project guides are also requested to restrict guiding projects in their code solution also. It's for the those who are the guide as a guide. For them, the instruction is there. They also should not sign which is not his field. Then preparation of the synopsis, how to provide it. Introduction it should be fast. The brief background, you have to write it. Then rationales. In the rationales, there the topics has to be given. In your statement of the problems, as I say, then your why you are choosing this project, then your what benefits will be there. So all these things are your part of your rationales. Then objectives. This is the most important aspect of the project. It should mention clearly precisely the things which you move. That is your objectives, not the organizational objectives. So that is the mention. And this is an objective. Then important is your objectives need to be expressed in a neutral manner. Whatever your objectives is neutral. Don't bias it. What are the happens? So without any implicant assumptions, the findings in research. Then this is the right, you have to write it. Your objectives should be like this: to study the financial performance, to explore, to analysis. This is the way you have to write the objectives. Some example is given, some sample is given. Then research methodology, again, the research design you have to write some things. What the way you have to do the research, nature and sources of data, from where you get it, primary data, secondary data, that you have to mention. Sample is also important. Sample size should be 10 to 20% maximum. Suppose you are 100, particularly in organization there are 100 employees are working, then you can take only 20, around 20 or maximum 30 sampling. If it is a big company, then your sampling size will be high, because if you take again, if your sampling size is very big, then it is a problem. It will time taking job. So it should be reasonable. So sampling choice, deciding the sampling is very important. So it should not be more than the 50 to 60, because then after that your analysis part will be bigger. Your that chapter will be more and more there. If you take the more sampling, definitely it will be expectations. Your survey report, your project report should be more all the sampling result. So, so very precisely, very think about it before the take the sampling size. So sampling size selections, also the criteria is there. Tools and techniques, what the type of tools are you utilizing for this data collection? Basically, tools and techniques is nothing. What type of chart, bar chart, pie chart, that thing you have to mention. That is the tools and techniques. Then your relevant objectives you have to write, methods, which method you are adopting. That these all these things are, these all are written in the guidelines. So you have to go through the guidelines. I'm just giving a highlighting so that you can motivate to see and start reading the guidelines. Limitations, because the limitations also be given, because time constraints are there. Maybe sometimes not giving the reluctant to say all these things. So some limitations are there. That also have to mention. So submission of the synopsis must be proper format. Performa is there. That within the performa we have to write it. Biodata of the guide is important. And in the biodata of the guiding, it should be simple: name, address, contact number, where he is working, that address should be there, home address should be there, and the education, when he has passed out the higher degree, that has to be mentioned, and signature. So biodata, some format is given in the your guideline also. Name and date of the birth should be guide, and full address should be there. Just now I am telling, talking these things, qualifications, where you have to mention the specializations, name, address, which university he has passed out, when he has passed out. So all these details should be there. Then it will be easy to assess. Then your some of the in case of the students fail to submit a duly signed uh, or earlier signature, that is not entertained, it's clearly written. So you have to have a careful before submitting, sign the signatures there or not. Then perform approval field correctly, mentioned above. All you have to check it out. Subject list you should have duly signed by the biodata supervisor, everything are. That's all are the instructions. Then for ODS students, they submit these things to the regional director, as I told you. Some of the things are repetitions, but details is given in the your guidelines itself. These are just simply taken out from the website itself, so that in a PPT mode, but it is available in the. So, so that's why I am requesting, please go to the guidelines where you can get all the informations, and very nicely it is designed and very nicely it is elaborated. So if you want to go, it is just like a Bible. It is just like a writing your Bible. Based on this, you have to prepare your project. Then definitely you will get through. In the first attempt, definitely your project will be. This is all are the minimum requirement are expected from the students. So some of the things are in the project book that we will discuss in next time. What are the project, and I try to in the next video classes I will try to show you some of the example also, and what the way you have to structure it. Then what are the tools you have to use. So questionnaires you have to prepare, what the way you have to collect the data, primary data, and your the summary and the conclusions part should be there. Then your final project report should be coverage, should be all these things. So in the next video classes, I will try to explain details so that you can have a more idea about these things. So okay, thank you very much. Namaste.